good sized arms, good sized legs, but you got a beer gut. Like nothing's toned, you know what I'm saying? You're just solid.
That's fair. Can we get a Meat Canyon?
God damn. A Meat Canyon. God damn. American Sniper Chris Kyle.
This is where the other genes are from the gene pool. This ain't a gene pool. This is a gene ditch. A gene ditch.
Yeah, a gene. Just go and grab something, I guess. Welcome back to the Bench to Mike podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Foltz, also known as CF3.
I'm also your host, Chris Cortez, also known as Chris Cortez. I just realized I'm not wearing the hat. I guess
That's very sinful of you, Chris.
there.
It's like very against the podcast code.
This counts. This counts.
This definitely does count. The Yankees hat is on for Chris. We are back to our usual. Today we are talking about what, Chris?
We are going to just do a quick little rankings video for you. Our first ever stadium rankings video. We're going to be ranking from worst to first all 18 Big Ten stadiums for 2024 for purposes of possible future renovations for the stadiums. So we'll probably come back to this if there's any crazy renovations across multiple stadiums because renovations happen, change happens. But 2024 official BTM Big Ten stadium rankings coming at you, worst to first. Caleb.
So
We just gonna. Wow, this is
okay.
This is the first episode. The hat's laying down, but it's still facing the camera.
It's there in our hearts, guys.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, let's pull up the list. You ready?
I didn't make my own tier. I just pulled up CBS Sports. Did you make your own tier list?
Yeah.
See, I looked at the stadiums, and I have descriptions for them, but I did not rank them. But I like CBS ranking, so I'm going to call it mine.
For sure.
For the sake of the video. By the way, this article is called, for people that want to look up the article that I'm using, is Big Ten Stadium Rankings, where USC, Oregon, UCLA, at Washington stand as conference expands in 2024. It was written on June 30th, 2024. So you guys want to check that out. CBS Sports.
There you go. CBS Sports. All right. Without further ado, you want me to start or you want to start?
Starting with 18th, Chris. Give us your ranking.
Number 18, to no one's surprise, honestly hurts my heart to say this, but I got Martin Stadium, the current temporary home of Northwestern football with a capacity of approximately 15,000. Guys, this is a lacrosse and soccer stadium. It's not even going to be around that long. There's temporary bleachers there. In this game day environment, it's just not going to be good. It's going to be like 10% purple. They're going to be drawing in fans from all over the country to watch the opposing team. Like when Ohio State comes in, I think that game's at Wrigley Field, but even then, it would be majority scarlet and gray in that stadium. When Purdue comes, when Michigan comes to town, it's just going to be all black and gold or maize and blue. It's just, this stadium's not going to be good, especially late in the season when it's windy, snowy. It's going to be awesome watching on TV, but there's going to be no one at that game in this stadium. The facilities, the concessions, how are you even going to fit all this? It just doesn't look good, but goodness, this is near the top of stadiums I would love to visit, though.
Northwestern, a practice field. The Wildcats will still play on a practice field in 2024. It's on the shore of Lake Michigan, so that's cool. But again, it's a practice field. There's no way I can rank it higher than last, though we'll see how things change when the Wildcats open their new stadium down the road.
Would you agree?
I saw pictures. A picture we pulled up right here. I'm actually going to edit this time. There's a picture up here. It looks terrible. It's a practice field.
Love to see.
Now, the bird's eye view shot is kind of cool, but
the
stadium itself is dookie for D1.
Plus 10 points, though, for being on a shore. I love stadiums that are on the shores of, like, lakes, rivers, or oceans. I just love that stuff. Like Tennessee, they do it right. They have it on the shore of, I believe it's the Cumberland River. But
Cumberland River.
We'll talk about that in a future SEC video. That'll
Number
be fun.
5, Cumberland River. Okay, number 17, Chris. Give us your ranking.
We got SECU Stadium, Maryland football capacity of 51,802. This stadium, it's a step up from Northwestern. I guess it's kind of a medium step. It's just, yet again, guys, this would be a pretty decent group of 5, but this is a Big Ten Power 4 school. It's not that good. You got a lower, like, tiered horseshoe. Then you got this weird, massive away stands upper deck. It looks weird. I believe they call it the shell, which I guess kind of when you say that it does look like a shell, but yet again, it's just and Maryland just fails to pack that stadium as well. And when it's a really good team like Michigan or Ohio State or Penn State, majority of that stadium, it's going to be opposing team's colors. It's just not that good. Not good. What do you say, Caleb?
I'm going Indiana here, Memorial Stadium. There are a host of factors that work against Indiana's Memorial Stadium. Visually, it's not much to look at. It's kind of like it almost looks like, it does go up a little bit from the bird's eye view. It looks so flat. It looks like everybody's sitting on top of each other, and it's just bland. It looks like a really nice D2 stadium.
Right.
Maybe really nice D3. It'd be cool for like a D3 game, but it's nothing special. It's very bland. It gets the job done. Indiana, do better.
Do better, Indiana.
But it does look kind of it's weird. It looks like a. Do you know like those when you go to like a Mexican restaurant and you get like the tortilla shell like salad? Like it's the bowl made of tortilla shell, but like inside is the chicken. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's just flat on the inside because it doesn't look like it goes up very high in terms of the actual seating. But then it just has these pillars of castle brick that go on the outside of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I kind of see that.
And so I think of like the Mexican salad bowl.
No, yeah,
tortilla
for sure. It kind of
dish.
does look like that now that you say that.
That's what I'm saying. It does look exactly like that. And it's the same kind of color too, in a way.
Yeah.
So that's all I think of.
All right. Next, number 16, we got SHI Stadium, Rutgers University football, capacity of 52,454. I guess the only interesting perk I would have to say about the stadium, I like the red barn kind of structures they got on, I believe it's the south end zone over there. They got like red barns. That's kind of cool. Other than that, I mean, but I do prefer bowls. The only reason it's over Maryland is because it is a full bowl. It's not like a horseshoe, which I don't have any issues against horseshoes, but I just like complete bowls better. But really, it's not anything special. Just like the two previous stadiums, when a good opposing team is there, it's going to be the majority of opposing teams. Other than that, it's just another not to capacity stadium. Fans don't show up. Can't speak on the facilities. I've never been there, but just on TV, it's just not visually appealing.
For me, well, I have Rutgers ranked higher according to CBS Sports, of course, not me. But I like Rutgers. Rutgers Stadium would be a really cool CFL stadium. It reminds me of a soccer.
It would be.
It has that two stack look, and it looks like a soccer stadium.
Yeah.
So I like that look, but in terms of like, it doesn't make me think of FBS D1 football.
Mm.
But I definitely it makes me miss the Argonauts. Shout out to Toronto.
Oh, love that.
So my ranking is Maryland.
Maryland, yeah.
I have Maryland. We talked about Maryland, and that's all we got.
Yeah.
Moving on to 16. No, 15?
15.
15.
I got Memorial Stadium, University of Illinois, capacity of 60,670. This stadium honestly looks, when I first saw it, it kind of reminded me of just a top tier FCS stadium.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but it's just, when I look at it, I don't think Power 4, second best conference football. Like if they were in any other conference or a group of 5 school, this would be up there. I love the orange. I love the orange bricks. Just everything is themed orange there. I love the exterior, but it's just another mid-tier, I guess, Power 4 school stadium. But game days, the only reason I got it high, it's better visually, but I would say it's just their fans definitely show out better than Rutgers, Maryland, and Northwestern.
So you're also including fan base into the stadium ranking.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of a stadium, is how good is the game day atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, I guess I agree with that. Because you also got to keep in mind like how well the echo is with like people screaming and like the
loudness,
the presence of the team.
Yeah.
Is there a home field advantage kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can appreciate that about Illinois. They're showing out for their team. The Illinois does back their team. So that's something I love to see. But overall, as a Power 4, second best conference stadium, Memorial Stadium for Illinois just doesn't do it for me.
I got Purdue, Ross-Ade Stadium, and I have my own opinion on this. Not even CBS. My own opinion. It's very Mac school-esque in a way. It feels like a giant high school stadium because it has one giant press box. It honestly reminds me of Western Michigan in a way. It has one giant press box, all these glass rooms on the one side, and then like nothing but flagpoles or some sort of pillars on the other. It just seems very high school football-y. And I'm like, I don't know. It just looks like you just got a high school football stadium and just times it by 10. So it's just very Mac school, high school football-ish to me.
Interesting. It's funny because no, number 14, we got Ross-Ade Stadium for Purdue. Honestly, the exact same reasons he's got. The only reason I put it above Illinois is because of how unique it is. I can't name another stadium that resembles Ross-Ade Stadium. I love how it's dug into the ground. I love how it's just one massive lower bowl, and it's in the shape of a horse. It's in a horseshoe shape. I don't know what the heck the pillars are on the opposing side, but I just love it because of how unique it is. And that massive scoreboard they got, I believe it's in the north end zone. It just looks awesome. Only downside to Ross-Ade, just like the other teams below them. Well, not really Illinois, but everybody else below Illinois. The fans, come on, guys. When a top tier like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, or I guess USC and UCLA when they come to town, it's going to be majority of those fans, guaranteed.
I really have
But
nothing to say. I have no
other than
experience
that-
with like a Purdue or even watching them on television other than they look cool. you
On
know?
Purdue, on TV, it looks pretty good. It looks all right.
Yeah. Wait, my 14th is Rutgers, kind of the same reason I talked about with Chris about it, kind of like a soccer stadium. And yeah, I'd rather go to a giant soccer stadium over a Mac school-esque stadium. So that's all I got for Rutgers.
Yeah. Number 13, I got Memorial Stadium, University of Indiana, capacity of
Ooh, you have it
52,626.
ranked way higher than what CBS does.
I love Memorial Stadium. I would love to go out there for a game day. Indiana, the community and the students, they back their team. They don't care that their team is awful and that it's going to be a basement dweller. Not this year, though. I think they'll be pretty good. But before that, they're always out there. They're always almost or selling out their stadium. It's awesome. It just looks cool on TV. And I honestly think the exterior, it kind of resembles in a way the Roman Colosseum. That's
Roman
what I think when I look at
Colosseum.
the exterior. I think it's like a modernized Roman Colosseum.
I just
I love that. I love the classic look of Indiana. When I look at the stadium, I think, yes, this belongs to Indiana. This is Indiana
I
Stadium.
just talked about it being a Mexican taco salad, and you're saying it's a Roman fight arena.
That's what it looked like to me on the outside. You know, before you said that, I had in the back of my mind that, yeah, it looks like the Roman Colosseum. The exterior does.
I guess I can kind of see what like the stone I guess it's made out of. I guess I see that.
And I love the athletic facility building they got in the one ends. I don't know which end zone it is, but I love how that looks. I guess I would say I'm a sucker for stadiums that integrate their athletic facilities into the stadium build. You know what I'm saying? I guess what I would say,
Like you're saying in the athletic facility.
yeah, like how Western has their athletic facility in the end zone. It's
It
kind of
does look
integrated
pretty-
into that.
does look pretty
Or I guess
cool.
another would be James Madison or Charlotte.
James Madison.
I
Oh
just
my
love
goodness.
how the athletic facilities are integrated
Yes.
into the stadium.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for that across all levels.
I like James Madison. Now you say that.
Yeah.
So for CBS Sports, 13 is UCLA, the Rose Bowl. I feel the need to point out there's a difference between the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day when it hosts the Rose Bowl and the Rose Bowl on a Saturday in September when UCLA is hosting somebody from the Mountain West.
Oh, took the words out of my mouth.
So
I thought I was gonna be.
and what's really funny,
interesting.
Google all these Google images is just pictures of the Rose Bowl UCLA. There's no there's very few actual home game pictures when you look up the Rose Bowl.
Took the words out of my mouth. Man, I thought I was gonna be like, wow, this guy's actually onto something here. Nope, I guess it's just a copy and paste take.
I think the thumbnail should literally just be a giant bobblehead of you, Chris versus CBS Sports ranking. Like,
That would be pretty good.
I think that'll make that into the thumbnail.
That'd be pretty good.
I'll see if I can do something like that. But yeah, CBS Sports has 13 UCLA, and I kind of agree with it. It makes sense to me, not knowing what the future stadiums are ahead.
Yeah, I actually don't have an issue with that ranking. I agree with CBS on that. I got at number 12. I got Huntington Bank Stadium.
Huntington Bank Stadium.
Yeah, for University of Minnesota.
What's my bank
capacity
doing
of-
hosting a stadium?
I don't know. It's like they're rich or something.
I guess.
Capacity of 50,805.
50,000.
Yeah, I was surprised at how small this was. Mind you, this is the stadium that Blair Walsh missed that kick on. That season, the Vikings played at an
When he
outdoor
shanked
stadium.
it because of the crowd go, "Rah!"
Yeah, that whole season, the Vikings when they played in that outdoor stadium because their current stadium is getting built, Huntington Bank Stadium
That's
for the University
actually
of Minnesota.
crazy.
Yep, cool factoid. Not a lot of people remember.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but reason I got it here, it looks better than the ones below them. I love kind of the bowl. I like how it's basically kind of a complete stadium. And then I believe it's the north end zone where they still have seating in the lower bowl, but there's no upper deck because that whole that whole upper deck is not there because they want the fans to be able to look out there and see the skyline of Minneapolis. I think that is awesome. I think that's awesome. Three things I love so far taken away. Bodies of water, looking out on skylines,
Athletic facilities.
and athletic facilities. If you can integrate any of those three into your stadium, on par to be perfect.
We're just gonna build an ocean on our high school stadium and then like attach the new school to it. There we go.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, I love that about Minnesota. And Minnesota, their fans, they show out for their team. And gotta love their uniforms. Gotta mention the uniforms, man. Those uniforms we saw in the Quick Lane Bowl, they were awesome.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I really got nothing from Minnesota. Like I said, I got a number 12. I could say copy and paste the same thing I've said about the other ones, though. It's just, man, though, at the end of the day. I love the skyline, though. That's kind of what separates it from the other ones. All right, moving on.
For
number,
me,
go ahead. My bad. I didn't
Dang, you
even
left CBS Sports out. You should be ashamed.
CBS.
Illinois Memorial Stadium. Renovations in recent years have made Memorial Stadium a more pleasant place, and tailgates seen outside is better than you think. The problem is the team can't put together successful seasons consistently, which makes it difficult to generate an incredible game day environment. And now I'm going to look at a picture. Oh, that's a giant brick building. And it has like 2 stacked stands for away stands. That's kind of weird how there's very small stands
Yeah.
in the end zones.
That's kind of what I said. It's like it's not a good Power 4 second best conference even stadium.
And
it's something that belongs in Group of 5 or like best of the best.
It's
FCS.
kind of like one of those things. It's a big high school stadium. You just times it by 10.
Yeah,
See, I agree with CBS here.
yeah.
Number 11, Chris.
I got the Rose Bowl, and I'm kind of disappointed that I'm gonna be saying the exact same thing CBS said because I thought I was gonna be having a pretty interesting take that a lot of people would be like, "Oh wow, this is pretty interesting. I would have never thought this."
But nope, you're just like everyone
I'm
else.
literally just like everyone else.
You're literally generic.
I guess to
You're
get a
Steve from
filler
Minecraft.
here, yeah, I'm like Steve from Minecraft. But the only thing I could, like the reason I have it here is because when people think of the Rose Bowl, it's the Rose Bowl, like Big Ten versus Pac-12. But this is UCLA Rose Bowl. They have both of their end zones basically. Majority of them are tarped off because they can't sell out their games. Even the USC game from a couple years ago, because I believe it was at USC last season, but last time they played USC in the Rose Bowl, their end zones, at least one of their end zones was tarped off because they couldn't sell it out. What? Come on, it's your biggest rival. Sell out the stadium.
Tarp
You can't sell
off?
it. Yeah, tarped off.
It's gonna look tacky.
Yeah, it looked horrible. It looked horrible. I love the backdrop of the Rose Bowl. Like Rose Bowl, the Rose Bowl game in the Rose Bowl, top 3 stadium in college football. No doubt about it. No thought needed to put in. But Rose Bowl, UCLA, bad. Get your own stuff. And it's not even on campus either, so students can't even hardly make the games. It's not an on-campus stadium. UCLA is like, I want to say like 5-10 miles from the Rose Bowl. Like it's in LA traffic. It's a far drive to the Rose Bowl.
No students going out there.
No, UCLA, LA, in Los Angeles.
You said it's a
Rose
5-10
Bowl,
minute drive? Is it or miles?
Miles.
No one's walking out there
It
either.
might even be longer than that.
No one's even walking out
'Cause,
there either.
Yeah, UCLA. I think it's in Western LA too. And Pasadena. Pasadena's not in LA. It's near LA. It's outside of LA, but it's not in LA.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know. It's just UCLA needs to get their own on-campus stadium. It would be better for students. It would be better for fans. And make the stadium smaller. You'd have a lot better crowd energy. And put it on the Pacific Ocean. But yeah, Rose Bowl, UCLA, not doing it for me. Capacity of 91,136 for UCLA games. For the actual Rose Bowl, I believe it's like either at 100,000 or just a little bit over. But yeah,
Speaking of big time games, though, it's kind of funny. There's a little funny joke for you guys today. Probably it's actually not even that funny. But I had one of my first classes today, and I had a professor, and he talks like a sports commentator. You guys need to read your books slowly and cherish it genuinely. Swing and a miss. And like it was so funny, bro. Like this guy was just talking like a 1960s sports broadcaster. You guys need to pay attention as we come up to bat here. Pete Rose up to bat. Like, you know, it just like that. And it was awesome. And I really wanted to like record him. I should have him come on the podcast.
should
He literally sounded like a sports commentator. What do you think, Jim?
should have him on a live stream and just give it a play-by-play of a game.
That'd be amazing. Dude, he could be the Professor Play-by-Play. That's his name, Professor Play-by-Play. There we go, Professor Play-by-Play. That's a segment for the podcast. And Jim, what do you think of this math equation? It was awesome.
That'd
Anyways,
be great.
my take was Michigan State. Not my take, CBS take. We've now reached a portion of the rankings where the quality of the program has a large impact on the stadium atmosphere. Ooh, okay. Well, and Michigan State is at the best. Spartan Stadium can be as loud as any stadium in the league, but when the Spartans are struggling, it can be uninspiring. And I absolutely agree with that because the last 2 seasons, Michigan State's probably been awful, and the games look so empty.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
It's a giant bowl, though. It's a giant bowl, and then it has, like, 2 stacks on, like, the home and away side, but the whole front row is just one giant circle. It's kind of neat.
I'm okay with that ranking because my number 10, Spartan Stadium, Michigan State, capacity of 74,866. So I would have to agree with everything CBS just said there.
Shout out to CBS for being right, man.
Yeah, shout out for them to being right. I really like the bowl layout and the 2 smaller upper decks that on the dueling sides Michigan State's got. It looks like a great stadium, and it looks like a great game day atmosphere for when they draw a big game or when they're really good. Because when they're really good, oh my goodness! Like I said, I grew up watching Big Ten football, and this was back when I can't remember the guy's name. He won a couple Big Ten titles. Mark, I don't know. Someone drop in the comment. It's been a while since he's been a coach, but won the Rose Bowl. Those games, every game, he sold out. It was loud. Sparty was rocking. Sparta was rocking. But now it's kind of like they're bad. Michigan State's bad. Unless if it's a big game, this stadium's going to be half empty. It's just still looks cool though. But yeah, it kind of just doesn't do it for me. I got it in my top 10 though because it's on campus. Students can go, fans can go. It's easy to get to. Yeah, top 10.
I'm going Minnesota for my 10th. I love, this is not even CBS, I love Minnesota's colors and their stadium with like the painted M in the stands. It looks very retro. It looks like classic football. It makes me think of just, I don't know why, but and this is really stupid for me to say, but it makes me think of like Coliseum, pound the ball, rough football. And another thing, I feel like the Minnesota Stadium, that's a stadium that should have, even though it's small, it should have hosted the USC versus Texas national championship game because that's what I think of, like those colors mashing together. Like those colors make me think of that game. Even though it's Minnesota, and that's really dumb to say, but it's just a beautiful stadium. It makes me think of classic retro football.
It is. And Minnesota's a beautiful state.
I love Minnesota. I love going up there. It was amazing. Going to the lakes and stuff.
You have to go on a dude trip sometime.
Shout out to Dude. BTM Dude Strip. Let us know.
Let us know.
Jinx.
Number 9, I got Kinnick Stadium, University of Iowa, capacity of 69,250. Iowa does it for me. They sell out almost every single game. And I love the tradition. I love the tradition, how I believe it's like middle of the first quarter, something like that. Sometime in the first quarter, first half of the game. Everybody in the stadium, fans, coaches, players from both sides turn and they wave to the children up in the Children's Hospital. Beautiful. I love it. I love Iowa City. I love that it's an on-campus stadium. I love how it's all basically enclosed. I love the look of the 2 dueling massive grandstands. Massive grandstands. It's loud. It's hopping. Iowa, gotta love it. I got nothing wrong with the stadium. Just everything above the stadium. We're getting into where I could see why you would put any of these in your top 5. but simply they're at 9 because the stadiums above it are just better. But Iowa, good job. Kudos to you. If this stadium was in the group of 5, it would be number 1. Literally the only reason it's at 9 is because it's in the Big Ten. But I love Kinnick.
Number 9, USC, Los Angeles Coliseum. I disagree with this. What the heck? Said their stadium is rocking, full of celebrities when the Trojans are good, but it's a cool place to be, and it's a cool place to be seen. But when it's empty seats, it's very embarrassing. I see it. The pictures I'm seeing right now, it looks awesome, and that actually looks like a Coliseum. It looks like a Coliseum. So it holds up to its name. The stands look packed, but I bet it does kind of suck when the stands are empty. But I don't know. I've never been near USC, so I can't really say.
I would have to disagree with that ranking.
Stinks.
It stinks. Not gonna lie, it stinks.
Nice.
I have USC a little higher on my ranking because I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay, what's yours then?
My number 8, I got Camp Randall Stadium, Wisconsin. I took a big breath when I said Camp. Sorry, earbud warning. I got at number 8. Let's restart. Camp Randall Stadium, University of Wisconsin, 80,321. So we're getting into the heavy hitters now. This stadium looks awesome. I've seen pictures of it. I went my freshman year. I was in class with a guy on the Club BG hockey team. He went there. He showed me the videos and the pictures of Camp Randall.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness, they got everything. It's a bowl. They incorporate, or it might be a horseshoe. I don't know. But in one end zone, they have their massive facilities building. That's a top, I would say, easily top 10. I don't know if it's a top 5, easily top 10 incorporation of their athletic building, athletic facility in the end zone. That thing looks awesome. Wisconsin, that stadium is crazy. They don't call it the bounce house for nothing, or not the bounce house, but they don't say, what's it called? What's that song called? Jump Around. They don't say it bounces for nothing because they play jump around. People say that stadium literally bounces when they're playing jump around in that stadium. One of the best traditions in college football. That stadium, it just looks good. I love the retro. I feel like when I look at it, I'm just stepping back in time. I love the brick exterior of it. I love how it's integrated into their campus. It just looks good. It does it for me. Wisconsin, well done. Just sadly, the stadiums above you are just awesome and better. But yeah.
Number 8 for CBS Sports, Nebraska Memorial Stadium.
Wow.
There probably is a nicer fan
8?
base in the Big Ten than Nebraska's. Cornhuskers fans will make a visitor feel at home, even though they want your team to lose. They want you to enjoy your visit, enjoy a runza. If the football team had better success in recent years, Memorial Stadium would be closer to the top 5, if not in it. Maybe we'll get back there soon, according to CBS.
That's crazy. 8?
It's
Wow.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool as an understatement. That's crazy. 8? Wow. I'm interested to hear their reason for the other 7 before it. That's crazy.
It's very
I
nice.
have Nebraska very high on my list.
It's very nice. It's very cool.
It's beautiful.
It's kinda cool.
All there is to do in the state of Nebraska. I can't name another school in the state of Nebraska.
Is that Ohio too?
Yeah. Well, last time I checked, there's only one school in Nebraska. There's no high school. It's just University of Nebraska.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Number 7, I got, is it Autzen or Autzen? I don't know. I'm going to say Autzen Stadium for now. Autzen Stadium, University of Oregon, capacity of 54,000.
Really?
It's on the smaller end of Power 4 stadiums.
That's Oregon,
But
though. Like
they
that.
are selling out games. It's
Left and right.
It's you can see the mountains
Up
in the
and down.
in the backdrop.
And side to
It's-
side.
It's like built into the side of a mountain or the hill. I don't know, it just looks. I love the dimensions of the stadium. It kind of looks like an off-centered sombrero.
Ole.
That's kind of what it looks like. And I just love the overall bowl and the colors, the facilities and the concessions. It's all great. And that stadium just looks among the best in college football when it's on TV. Love Oregon. There's really nothing wrong with it. I guess the only thing that could be wrong with it is it's a little small for me.
You think with all the Nike gear they get and all the money they have, you think they'd have like the absolute, like without even
I figured,
close.
like with all that money, you'd think they'd have a bigger stadium. Like that's why I have it low. If it was like like Michigan Stadium or Ohio Stadium or Beaver Stadium size, oh, number one. Number one.
I guess all their money is going into jerseys every week.
Must be. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
kind of a turn off for me for it being at
Outta
only
here.
54K. It's just small.
We're
Great
number,
personality though.
we're number 7 though, right?
Yes.
Wisconsin, Camp Randall Stadium. Doesn't quite like seeing the look in the eyes of somebody visiting the press box at Camp Randall for the first time at the start of the fourth quarter when the stadium begins to shake the tune of House of Pain's Jump Around. It can be a bit scary, but in fun ways, the atmosphere outside the stadium is sometimes more enjoyable than the inside. So you kind of already brushed on that, right, with Wisconsin. So it's cool, in my opinion. But this is CBS Sports opinion, so
I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
number 7 is a fair
had
ranking?
Yep. I had them literally one spot lower. I could not be mad at that.
Okay. Number 6,
Yep.
Chris.
Number 6, I got Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, USC, capacity of 77,500.
So you have it ranked way higher, 3 or 4 ranks higher.
Yeah. I got them up there. I love the stadium.
Get them up there.
I've never been in the stadium, but when I went to Los Angeles during my senior year of high school, I got to see the exterior of it. You want to talk about something that looks like something from Greece or like ancient Greece or ancient Rome? Look at the outside of Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Look at the LA Coliseum.
I'm looking really hard.
That thing looks awesome. Inside looks awesome. I love the tradition. I love the pageantry surrounding USC football, and I love in the one end zone they commemorate like when the Olympics were held there.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like when I'm looking at a stadium, when I'm watching it on TV, I feel like I'm gonna be going to war. I feel like I'm going to
grab
war.
your shield, grab your
Yeah.
what's the
Like
long
a-
sticks called?
Uh,
Spears.
I was thinking of like a sword.
thinking spear.
I don't. Your sport. Your
Spore?
your sword, your shield, and your Trojan helmet. Put it on. I just feel like I'm ready to go to war. Hop on a horse and go fight whatever they were fighting back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. It's loud. I don't think even when they were bad, I don't think I ever saw an empty USC football game.
CBS said there is.
There must be, but every game I've seen, it's not. It's full. It's full in there. I guess the only thing I could think of is they got a couple tarps in there, but they're tiny to where you don't even like notice them.
Really?
Like when you look at them, you just grace by like, oh, they're just showing their logo. Not like UCLA's. It's just the whole end zone. But USC, it's like a little square in one of their end zones. But I believe it's because of the sight lines, because it's like up beside the Olympics monument. So I think it might just be like a sight line thing. I don't know. But USC, congratulations, you're at number 6. I have no problem with that stadium. I would love to go there someday.
We have Iowa Kinnick Stadium. It gets policed for the wave tradition of waving the kids at the Stead Family Children's Hospital. That's actually really sad, but wholesome. And even visiting fans getting on it. So gotta respect it, gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just for that reason, I'd make rank it number 1. But CBS got him 6. That is a beautiful tradition.
Yeah.
And dude, the yellow and black clash of the stand. There's like stripes in the stands. That looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly though, I do think Iowa needs to go down more. I think like Nebraska should be raised up.
I guess that's
CBS Sports, man. What are we doing?
what are you doing, CBS?
What are we doing?
I feel
What are
like
you doing?
I feel like every other podcast we're going. What are we doing?
I probably should have had like a couple memorable games for each stadium, but oh well, I can stop.
You failed us, Chris. You failed us.
I failed, but I guess for LA Memorial, the UCLA game, it's crazy. Then when I was going to say for Iowa Stadium, a couple games that I remember when they beat Michigan in prime time. That stadium
Prime
was
time?
crazy. When they played Penn State or when they killed Ohio State,
Oh, yeah.
that stadium was crazy, hopping. The camera would shake on TV. But
Wow.
yeah. All right, moving into the top 5, my top 5 at least. I got Memorial Stadium, University of Nebraska, capacity of 90K.
CBS is flaming
CBS,
right
what
now.
do you do? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing, CBS?
Sports? What are you doing?
Nebraska. What are you talking about, CBS? That stadium has one of the best game day atmospheres in all of college football. No matter how Nebraska's doing, they sell out every single game. They even had the longest current sellout streak for a while. They held it, and even when they didn't, you couldn't even tell there were empty seats.
No.
Because of how many people. It's like 95, 98% full every single Saturday. One of the best atmospheres in all of college football. A couple memorable games I can think of would be when they play Wisconsin or Iowa or Minnesota, one of the better teams in the old Big Ten West, because there's no really, I guess, divisions anymore. I don't know. But the stadium, I love just the massive wall of seats on every side of that bowl. I love the dimensions of it, and I love the press box. I love how they incorporate red. I think their thing is like GBR, which is Go Big Red. That stadium's red every Saturday. Any given Saturday, that stadium's red, and I just love it. I love Nebraska. I love the whole opening pregame tradition where they're walking through the tunnels. Take me to Lincoln.
Take me to Lincoln.
Take me to Lincoln.
CBS Sports has Ohio State number 5.
Whoa.
Ohio Stadium.
Ohio Stadium.
Buckeye fans will be fierce about this, but while Ohio Stadium is huge, 102,000, whatever, and Buckeye fans are some of the most passionate and nice way to call somebody insane in the country, it's always bothered me how far away the fans are from the field. There's too much space. That's actually a good point.
You know what?
That's a good point. CBS?
I never even thought of that.
Dude, we went to that spring game. We were like a mile away.
Oh, we could hardly see anything. There were cheerleaders, there were servicemen, there were former players. I could hardly see anything.
Genuinely, how far do you think we are from the field from the stands? I'm going to say like 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, 15 to 20.
Bro, they had so much room.
This was in the end zone. I don't know.
We were in the end zone where they come out.
We were in the end zone with the flagpole for people that go to like that like Ohio State. We were in the end zone with the flagpole.
All the recruits and security were coming out, and like they're walking a good 10, 15, 20 steps
you couldn't
before they
see
get to the
anything.
field. Like we're in the back end zone. That's a really good point.
Yeah, I'd never thought of that.
I don't think it'd be that bad of a game though if you're like in the middle of
Anywhere else, you're golden.
Yeah, if you're like on the 50-yard line, up high in the stands, you're fine. But if you're like trying to get the front row seats, you're front row 10 back.
You are just there. You paid that much money because you just wanted to say, I sat in the front row on a Ohio State football game.
Yeah, but this isn't a how is the seating ranking list. This is a how is the stadium. So
that is true.
But that's the only point they really bring up is there's too much space from the sidelines. So
hot take, I guess. CBS, welcome to Cold Seats Hot Takes. You're on the cold seat, and you're having a hot take, buddy.
That's your hot take.
That's your hot take, CBS.
And we're not mad at it. We're not mad at it.
You know what? I would have to agree with that statement. You know, I can't argue with that.
We're not mad at it.
The only thing I got is it shouldn't be at 5, but yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, we do.
My number 5, I got. Or no,
Number 4.
No, we just did number 5.
Number
4.
4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Husky Stadium, University of Washington.
Wow.
70,138 is the capacity. The reason I got it up that high, it looks awesome. I believe it is either in the top 3 of loudest or it's just the loudest. But I think it's the loudest stadium in all of college football because it's designed kind of like the Seahawks stadium where they got the big overhangs, the big canopies on each grandstand to contain the sound. So it just goes back down onto the field rather than just go out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I love that aspect about it. And I think it just looks unique. It's definitely up there with one of the most unique stadiums in college football. And I love going back on the bodies of water. It's on Union Bay. I believe it's called Union Bay. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it's on a massive bay going out in the ocean. And it just looks gorgeous. Even on the worst weather days, that stadium looks gorgeous. Drone shots. Even you can see it from the stands. And how all the boats and stuff like sailboats and stuff are out there watching games from the ocean or just listening to it. Top 4 in the Big Ten. I have no complaints about it. Just there's stadiums that are better. It's on campus. It's easy to access. They sell out almost every single game. I love Husky Stadium. And once again, this is a stadium I would love to visit someday.
Number 4, Oregon. Watson Stadium. Watson. Like fellow newcomer Husky Stadium, Autzen is a more intimate venue compared to traditional Big Ten stadiums with a capacity of 54,000. It's one of the smallest stadiums in the league, but it's not the size of the dog in the fight, the size of the fight in the dog, or in case the duck. You're surrounded by 54,000 people inside as loud as anybody in the country, and they're very close. So this guy's not even talking about the stadium anymore. He's just talking about how the fan base is. This is a terrible article because you went from quality of stadium to fan base.
I mean, at that point, I guess I definitely agree with you, but I can see where he's coming to as well because they're all great stadiums. So how are you going to pick out flaws in each stadium when they're all basically perfect? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. And there are millions of dollars. Millions and
Yeah.
millions of dollars.
Like for the MAC, it's one thing. Like, okay, this is a high school stadium, and
This is Western Michigan.
this is Western Michigan. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to talk about what's bad when you're talking about like Group of 5 MAC teams
Yeah.
than it is top 10 like Big 10 stadiums.
Yeah, no, I got you. Oh, that's so funny. High school, Western Michigan.
Yeah, this here is a high school stadium. This is Western Michigan.
This is Western Michigan. They're gonna play each other now.
Yeah.
Number 3, Chris.
Number 3, I got Ohio Stadium, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh.
Capacity of
CBS, no.
102,780.
No.
Go ahead.
This is the first stadium on this list that I've actually been to. I went to the spring game with him and Luke and a lot of other guys, and then I went to the
Michigan game and sat in the very, very, very back.
very back row. But I can say this is a fair assessment. The very, very back, probably it was better than sitting in the front row. You got the sounds in the stadium. Mind you, this was Michigan. This was the Michigan game. This was for people that are Ohio State fans. This is the infamous Michigan game where Michigan won for the first time in like 20 years or whatever in Ohio Stadium. Watching J.J. McCarthy and Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum was crazy. But the fans were loud. But I guess talking about in a stadium aspect, it's a gorgeous stadium. I love how symmetrical it is when you're sitting up at the very top. And on one side, I don't know what side it is, but on one of the sides, you can see downtown Columbus. Like I was on the side where I could see downtown Columbus, so that was cool seeing the skyscrapers in the backdrop. I love how it's integrated into the campus of Ohio State because when I went on my campus tour there, when I was originally thinking about going there, the rec center has a track and like a balcony kind of pavilion thing where you could just sit out there and chill and eat lunch or just like look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really nice. A couple interesting features about it when we were there. Remember the rotunda they got
do.
there?
That was beautiful.
I think they were having their memorial for Dwayne
Oh,
Haskins.
yeah. Dude, that made me
And
so sad, bro.
that made me really sad. But that was really cool. They really did a nice tribute to Dwayne Haskins there. Beautiful rotunda, beautiful stadium. This is another one of those stadiums where the exterior just looks like the Roman Coliseum. And I love how it's above ground because stadiums that are below ground, I love how they look. But the only thing that I don't like about it is they look smaller than they are. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get to this in a little bit, actually. But Ohio Stadium, it looks like a stadium that holds over 100K because of
does
how
look
high.
absolutely
Yeah,
massive.
because of how high it is above ground. You know what I'm saying?
It stands out so much on that campus, too. It stands
Yeah.
out so much.
Yeah, it dominates the skyline of that campus.
Yeah. And the giant O at the top. It's so cool.
And there's no issue getting around either. Like when I was there for literally the biggest game of the year for Michigan, remember how the Kalamazoo Wings used really hard getting around, walking around the concourse? There's no issue for that at Ohio State. None of that. No issues getting around the concourse.
It's very open.
It's very open, very loud. Buckeye Nation loves their team. That stadium's going to sell out. If they're playing Michigan all the way down to if they're playing a MAC team, it's going to sell out.
Yes.
Great atmosphere, great stadium, great campus. Love it. Student section. I love how. Remember when we were there? They have that Block O painted in their student section.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we were like directly across from it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how the press box is integrated into the overall one of the best stadiums in all of college football.
That's
Just the
why it's
reason
number
at 3
Yeah.
because the two stadiums are probably the two best in all of college football. Pending game day vlogs there, of course. But yeah, Ohio State, kudos to you guys. Definitely got to make it out there for a game day vlog.
CBS Sports has Michigan Stadium as number 3. The first time I saw Michigan Stadium from the outside, I was unimpressed for a place called the Big House. It didn't look too big. It wasn't until entering the size of the place slapped me in the face over 107,000. I kind of agree with that. It's a very low stadium, but it's very wide and
dug into
lengthy.
the ground. That kind of goes back to what I was saying.
Yeah, it's kind of weird like that. It's a bowl, but like it doesn't look big, but then you kind of see it, and it's like, oh, it actually is massive. It's so wide and long. Wow, and it also brings up that you're very, very close to the sideline as a front row person. Yep. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of like a MAC stadium, but times it by 10. Like it's kind of like BG Stadium, like really close to sideline, but.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's I kind of agree with it.
Mm-hmm. Number two. I got
again.
Beaver Stadium, home of the Penn State University Nittany Lions. Capacity of 106,572.
Really? Explain yourself.
Well, of course, there's like almost there's not really almost. It's basically a perfect stadium. The two massive dueling grandstands, the large sections in the end zone, and it's all basically a massive bowl. And then, and it's weird because the two grandstands are just like giant wedges, but they're connected to the bowl-shaped structures of the end zone seating. It's weird, but it looks awesome. They're getting a renovation though. I don't know if it's making the capacity less or not, but it's like a whole exterior renovation. On the outside, it looks really cool. I love the massive scoreboards they got. I love the look of the press box. But guys, you can't talk about Penn State being one of the best in college football and not talk about the Penn State wideout.
But that's why it should be number one, Chris.
But that is one game out of the entire year. Because I've watched that team host bad teams, like bad Power 4 teams and Group of 5 teams.
Slap them?
There is a lot. Yeah, they'll slap them 100%.
Slap 'em?
But that stadium, there's some empty spots. There's some empty spots.
You're saying it's too big for being 106,000. You're saying it's too big.
On game days where it's not a big game, it's kind of too big. I guess that's the only reason.
Fill their britches, man.
It's the only reason I got them at number 2. But the reason I got them at number 2 over Ohio Stadium is because they got the whiteout. The whiteout, we got to play. We got to make a vlog there at some point. Definitely got to make it happen.
BG versus Penn State.
Baby, I think it's actually Minnesota though, but who knows? Maybe we make it out for BG versus Penn State.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool, but yeah, I guarantee that game though. There's gonna be some empty seats. Nobody's gonna show up to.
No, they're gonna
Penn
watch
State versus
BG. They're gonna watch BG. Okay, they're gonna watch it.
Yeah, but Penn State overall, top 3 stadium in college football. This stadium is amazing.
Awesome.
There's no complaints though. Just the one stadium I have above it is just the best stadium that I've ever been to.
CBS has Washington Husky Stadium as number 2. I can already see the angry messages from Big Ten fans outraged that I include this newcomer so highly, but trust me, once you visit the place, you get it. Husky Stadium's overall capacity of 70,000 ranks 9th in the league, but few buildings are as loud. The stadium design keeps the sound from escaping, but the view of the bay and sailgate scene are unmatched anywhere else in the league. It's a welcome addition to the league.
I have no complaints. You know, I was this top 4. Well, I guess number 1 was easy, but the 2 through 4 were pretty difficult. Like I'm sure if I went to a Penn State wideout and a Washington Huskies big game, I'm sure that those rankings could change. I'm honestly okay with them being at 2 from CBS. That's fine. I have no complaints. You know, I literally everything I said.
So you don't disagree with CBS having number 2?
No, you know what?
And where were they on your list?
They were at number 4, but like I said, I've never been to a game, and if they just blew me away with their game day atmosphere, their game day experience, I could possibly put them at 2. I literally put Penn State at 2 based off of looks and what I've seen on TV, and same with Washington.
Nice.
So
number 1, the final finale of this list.
The finality.
The finale.
Did I say finality?
You said the finality.
Wow, it is 11.
Finality.
It is 11:19 p.m. Eastern time, folks. I am kind of tired.
Time to go to bed.
And this guy's got school tomorrow. I
Yeah.
don't. I'm sleeping in.
I got lifting at 6 a.m.
Ooh, have fun with that, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Well, to make it short and sweet, guys, this is the best team I've ever been to. Number 1, without a doubt. I'm not a fan of this team. I'm just, like I said, I'm a small school BG fan. But, like, guys, I've been to 2 games. This is the best sports stadium I've ever been to. It'll be possibly impossible to beat. But, guys, Michigan Stadium, number 1. 107,601.
Ooh.
Every home game Michigan has is going to sell out. Every home game Michigan has is the largest football game attended for that given weekend.
It's always that?
Always 100% of the time. Oh,
Even against bad teams.
even against bad teams. It's,
That's a fan base.
when they
That's a fan base.
when they played BG, that stadium, I think it was above capacity. It was like 108, 109,000.
Wow.
When they played Northwestern, when I went to that game, it was at 110,000. My girlfriend's father is a season ticket holder from Michigan, so that's why I've been there twice. So, but it's gorgeous.
Disgusting.
If you guys ever have the chance to go to a Michigan game in the Big House, no matter if it's against
go.
Ohio State or a BG, go.
Don't go then. Don't go.
You guys got to go. And at night, the new LED lighting they got in there. You've seen the videos of like SEC schools having the light shows,
You
right?
sent me the video.
I sent him the video.
He sent me one.
I sent him the video.
Yes.
They got blue and maize
And white,
and white,
green, purple.
Man.
It's beautiful.
At night, the night games,
was
the
nice.
new scoreboards. They have either the second or the third largest scoreboard in the United States of America, or not in the United States, in all of college football. But the thing is, they have two of them.
Wow.
Because I think the largest is Auburn. Michigan might have the second, but there's two of them. Auburn only has one scoreboard. Michigan has two. Those video boards are awesome. That stadium is loud, and the fans are awesome. Great people there. When I wore my BG stuff, I didn't get heckled, but at the same time, it was BG. It wasn't like it was Ohio State or anything. But kind of an interesting factoid, though. I never really thought of bringing up, but when I went there with my girlfriend the first time, she's a big Michigan fan. That's the first thing I brought up to her is, it never hits you until you're inside of how massive it is. Because on the outside, you've never seen the exterior of it. Maybe sometime when we go up to something up in Michigan, we'll drive through Ann Arbor or something. But it's not tall. It's really short. Like I would say it's probably taller than BG's, but I would say just based on where it's located, it just looks shorter than BG's, how it's located and how it's like integrated into the campus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it is so dug into the ground. But it's dug into the ground because if a stadium were to surpass it capacity-wise, they can add on 50,000 more seats. I think that's how Fielding Yost, when he designed it, I believe that's who designed it, the architect behind the whole thing. He designed it so that if any stadium were to surpass it, they could add on 25, 50,000 more seats.
That's
So
actually
that they could still could still be the largest stadium in college football.
That's sick.
The only stadium that's bigger than it, that's not racing, is the big stadium in Pyeongchang. I believe it's North Korea. That's the only sports stadium that's not racing that's bigger than it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my number one, though. I guess to wrap up my ranking, that's my number one. Michigan Stadium. Best stadium in college football. Best stadium in sports that I've ever been to. So, yeah. So, Ohio State fans, you can comment all you want.
I wonder
I'll
how
stand on
many
the hill.
viewers are Ohio State fans.
I don't know.
It's got to be a good amount.
Maybe it's because we're from Ohio. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm from Ohio, and I approve this message. The Michigan Stadium is the best stadium in sports.
You probably made like 5 people dislike our video now and like quit off.
Man,
Quit off.
I even had Ohio Stadium at 3. I didn't even have them at 2.
They need to be number 1. Ohio State fans, they have to be number 1.
Come on.
Even though they always finish like second or third in the country. But
What are you doing, Ohio State?
What are you doing,
What are you
Ohio
doing,
State?
Ohio State? All right.
last one.
CBS, what do you got number 1?
CBS has Penn State Beaver Stadium number 1, and the only thing they bring up is the whiteout game.
Like I said, that's one game a year, guys.
But
That's one game a year.
But it impacts CBS Sports that much.
Yeah, because CBS has a partnership with the Big Ten. It's not SEC on CBS anymore. It's Big Ten on CBS. Da, 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 da.
That might just got copyrighted because I was saying absolutely perfectly. That just got us copyrighted because you sang that amazingly. I'm so proud of you, kid.
Maybe that should be the BTM theme song when we come out with one.
It just
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, and also, you guys are like, why are you calling this man kid? This 30-year-old man kid? Believe it or not, Chris is actually younger than me.
I'm 20. This kid turns 21 in September.
In like 28 days, 27 days.
And I turned 21 in 2025.
This man's a young blood. But he looks
You look 30, kid.
Got a lot of funny stories.
Oh, man. All right, guys. That's all we got for the podcast. It's late. But we want to get an episode out for you guys. We appreciate all the love. Appreciate everything. Go check us out. Bench_2_Mike. On Instagram, we also can find us on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, please give us a rate. 5 stars, please. But Chris, any closing thoughts, man?
Yeah, just a quick reminder. Look out. September 21st. Possibly.
First game, potentially.
Potentially.
Or-
Like I said, everything's tentative, but looking at it, first game, Bluffton versus Trine. Prime time.
Prime time
Prime time.
football.
Prime time D3 football.
Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee.
Yeah. Look out. Of course, everything's tentative, though, but at the end of the day, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, have a great morning, noon, afternoon, and night. God bless you guys. Stay safe, stay smart, and take care.
I'll catch y'all, boys. And the next one. Peace.